Hello friends, Iceberg with Dillon Brothers Harley Davidson, and today I am excited to show you a side-by-side comparison of the all-new 2019 FXDR. Alright, what we have done here is we've taken an opportunity to take an already amazing motorcycle in the new FXDR and go ahead and trick it out and add a new aesthetic to it and also a new seating position and kind of stance to the motorcycle for your riding. We looked at a few things after we all went out and rode it. I personally rode it, a lot of the techs rode it, our sales guys all rode it, and we all kind of sat down collectively and talked about a few things that maybe we would like to change overall on the motorcycle. Little different bits and pieces to come together that maybe could show a comparison and show you the potential of what these motorcycles can go from the stock to the custom. All right, let's start up front with the motorcycle. And I have done a ride review on the stock motorcycle. And one of the things that I talked about in my ride review while riding this bike was that I personally would have changed the handlebars out, going from the stock clip-on style bars, which are very nice and they add a very nice look to it. But I definitely, for my height at 6'1", was looking for a little bit different seating position on the motorcycle. I personally felt like maybe I was a little bit in the clamshell position. Once again, that's just from my height and having the forward controls with the lean down style bars. So, and this was something that a few of the other guys around my height agreed with, so we went ahead and we added on the Harley Davidson Street Slammer pullback drag style bars. This has given the handlebars a 6-inch rise with a nice about 2-inch pullback. Really changed the seating position on the motorcycle. As I said, for my height, really made it a much more comfortable ride, and I really felt that I could get really aggressive with it in the corners, having that more standard upright seating position as opposed to being leaned over. I do talk about how this motorcycle, if you've ridden one of the V-Rod series, especially the V-Rod Muscle, this very much has that seating stance. So I'm really pleased with the bars on here. They add a really nice aggressive look to the front end, and once again also give you a little bit more sitting upright position, standard seating. Staying with the bars, Harley has come out with the all-new Dominion series grips and pegs, so we did add on the Dominion grips onto this motorcycle. I'm a big fan of this new Dominion series, really love the looks of it, just adds to kind of that aggressive styling on this motorcycle that this bike just demands. And plus, these grips are incredibly comfortable, so if you're taking a longer ride, they're very plush, really nice to have your hands on for a while. Huge fan of the new Dominion series grips. Sticking up front on the motorcycle, and something that we had all talked about too, we really kind of wanted to clean up the front end, if you will. So we got rid of the larger turn signals that were on this bike, and we put these aftermarket Karaoke little bullet signals on here. These things are about the size of a dime, but they absolutely light up. They are really bright, very easy to see, and as I said, it really just kind of cleaned up that front end. You're now getting to see all the blacked out down tubes and stuff without that obstruction from the standard turn signals. Big fan of the Karaoke bullets on here as well. All right, let's move down on the motorcycles where you have that 114 Milwaukee 8 engine in it. As I said before, the power delivery on these motorcycles is jaw-dropping. What a blast to ride, having that 114 on this incredibly lightweight motorcycle. Fully wet, this bike comes in at about 683 pounds, so you have that Milwaukee 8 114 in here. This bike absolutely gets up and screams with all the torque you could possibly want. So what we did on this one was, and some people had commented on it, maybe it was an aesthetics thing, a lot of it also was from the riding style of longer legs. You were really kind of resting up on that larger air intake. So we went ahead and we put the smaller Screaming Eagle intake onto the engine, perfectly tuned it with the pipe and everything, and it now, you have a little bit more of that leg room that you're looking for up front, plus it just kind of opened up that whole engine now. You're really getting to see that Milwaukee 8 114 sitting in this frame, and I think that it just really cleaned up that whole area up front. I love the way it looks. And then also going down on the motorcycle, while we're talking about engine and the tuning, we did add the full new Screaming Eagle exhaust onto this motorcycle as well. extremely lightweight exhaust. You've kind of opened it up. The size difference is about the same between the stock and the custom, but you took off about 10 pounds off the motorcycle by eliminating the stock can and putting on that Screaming Eagle. The Screaming Eagle this exhaust really wasn't made to be like a ground pounder. It doesn't really have like roaring down the road capability, but it does add a very nice note to it, and you really are, between the Screaming Eagle intake and that Screaming Eagle exhaust, you boosted a little bit more power. You're really getting that air inflow and pushing it out through that exhaust. Just added a very nice aggressive note to this motorcycle for sure. Okay, so that was with your stock exhaust, and now this is going to be with the Screaming Eagle exhaust. So as I said previously, it wasn't about making the bike really loud. It's not a ground pound exhaust. It just gives it a little bit different note. And I can tell you that your difference when you're up in $4,000 riding both of these machines, you definitely hear this one more, and it definitely gives that nicer rumble note that you're looking for on this motorcycle. Big fan of that Screaming Eagle exhaust, and as I said, you also dropped about 10 pounds off this motorcycle. All right, moving back on the motorcycle, we really felt here that it was important to expose that beautiful 240 rear tire on this motorcycle. So we did eliminate the full stock rear fender here. By pulling that off, you now have opened up the back end of the motorcycle. I personally think that it just gives it such an aggressive look now, being able to see that 240. And I do understand, I know what you're thinking. Well, now if I get caught in the rain, the water's going to splash up my back. Guess what? You're already caught in the rain. You're already wet. It's just the way life is, my friends. But anyways, I do truly love the elimination of the rear fender and the big turn signals and tail light and license plate there. So what we did was, up underneath, we added the LED strip with the integrated turn signals in there. It is extremely bright. And then down on the side here, we did add the license plate bracket. So now your license plate is just hanging off to the side on the motorcycle. There it is, my friends. You have your stock 2019 FXDR and our Dillon Brothers in-house custom FXDR. We would love to hear from you in the comments what you think about these motorcycles. We'd like to know what you think about the different looks now between your standard and the custom, and maybe offer some opinions on things that you would do to this motorcycle to personalize it, to give it the look and the ride style that you are looking for. We just wanted to take the opportunity to already take an incredibly riding motorcycle and just add a few things that maybe for us added a little bit more comfort and added a different aesthetic to the motorcycle. So as always, from the entire Dillon Brothers Harley Davidson family, thank you so much for checking out our videos, and always remember, gear up, ride safe. Thanks a lot.